Welcome to the BCMA show, presented to you by Southern Sound Outfitters. Have a great show lined up today. We have Matt Castillo from the Matt and the Herdsman Band with us from Austin, Texas. How's it going, Matt?
It's going great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. So I mentioned you told me you were originally from Austin. We'll start off with a little background, man. What towns did you kind of move around and start your musical journey, you know?
Right on. Yeah, so I'm originally from Austin, Texas, and currently residing in Edinburgh, Texas. So my mom's from Austin, so, you know, I started my early days of childhood in Austin. And you know, I think that's where I found, but that's where I know where I found country music. I remember, you know, clearly being in Austin, traveling around downtown on weekends with my mom, you know, windows rolled down. I know it sounds cliche, but in the summertime, you know, I put some cassette tapes of Garth Brooks and No Fences and Rope in the Wind, and I listened to those cassette tapes like, you know, like they were going out of style, you know what I mean? Like I wore them out, you know. So I think I even had to ask my mom to get me another cassette tape of Garth Brooks. But, you know, the radio stations were playing a lot of good tunes, you know, things that I really enjoyed. I didn't know what the lyrics were talking about. The music just caught me. And I always found myself listening to country music. And then as I got older, I started, you know, exploring and being adventurous with what my cousins were hearing or my brother was hearing. You know, my brother listened to rap, and so I would gravitate towards that. And then, you know, my cousins would listen to rock. And so, you know, I just had music coming in from different avenues from different people. And so as I got a little older, I ended up moving down to South Texas in Edinburgh when I lived with my aunt and uncle. And I continued to finish elementary school, junior high. And within that time, you know, I had cousins down here that loved rock. So, and then I also had another cousin that played guitar. And I started picking up guitar as soon as I got into high school. But music has been a big influence, and I've always played music, either being in, you know, the drum line, sixth grade band, all those little musical things that played a role in who I am today.
Well,
so
man,
it's been a fun journey. Yeah.
Growing up in Texas, I mean, did you have any? Obviously, the Texas music scene is flooded full of talent and artists. Did you have any artists that you listened to, or kind of said, man, you know, those guys, that kind of, I want to go do that?
You know, I found Texas country kind of late in my life. You know, I remember clearly, believe it or not, I got kicked out of college, and I had to go back to Austin because I was attending college here in Edinburgh, Texas. And I got kicked out, so I had to tell my mom that I was moving back up to Austin to go to community college. And so on the way, but right before I left, I found a CD. It was called Live at Billy Bob's, the Randy Rogers Band. And I was like, hey, what is this? You know? And so I put it in the CD player, and I listened to the whole album at least maybe 100 times before I went back up to Austin. And even on the way up to Austin, I was listening to Live at Billy Bob's. And I remember hanging out in Austin, and they had this radio station that would play live music at the Hills Cafe, and that's when I started getting introduced to more Texas country. And the job that I had at the time, some of my coworkers loved Texas music, so they would take me to the Nutty Brown Cafe to watch the live, you know, I think it was KVET music series, and I got to watch, you know, Jason Boland, the Stragglers, Josh Abbott, Randy, saw Graham making the motor cars, Restless Kelly. You know, that's when I started getting more involved and more educated about the Texas scene. So that was kind of cool. And then when I was picking up guitar, I found a buddy of mine that also played guitar in Austin. So we would jam out, and he decided that, you know, maybe we should try some open mics. And my buddy Jordan, daughter, he introduced me to the whole music scene and as well, like the live, you know, getting up on stage and playing covers, and then trying to write your own songs, which at the time, and probably still needs a lot of work, but you know, it's always a growing process. But man, it being late in the game, I'm glad I found it, and it's been a very important part life too, man. There's some. It speaks the truth, just like any country music song does, but it has a little bit of an edginess to it, which I like. So that's cool.
Yeah, man. Funny story. I was kind of in the same boat as you, man. Growing up in Louisiana, I've always, of course, strong country music background. Family always listened to the greats, and but it wasn't until after school and I had a job that I moved to South Texas in the huge town of Carrizo Springs. I don't know if anybody knows that. It's not huge. It's a very small town. But I was working an oil field out there. And a guy I worked with, he had a shirt on and it said Casey Donahue Band. And I'm like, who the hell is Casey Donahue Band? And he's like, what the hell are you talking about, And so he starts, playing all these, Randy Rogers, Casey Donahue, just all these, William Clark Green, and all of those guys. And I was like, where has this been? Why have I not heard this before? And that kind of made me fall in love with it at a young age, man. But it's definitely. I always like to ask too, because I've done several interviews with Texas country artists, and even some, that are at the top of the charts and just all over, and they're all very humble people and all very it's a brotherhood, family type atmosphere, I'd have to say. And, being a band in that scene, how would you best describe the relationship you have and the bonds that you make between, all the artists in the Texas scene that you may have played with or see?
The one thing I've been able to take away from this experience and, being in the scene is that no matter how big these guys are, how much success they've had over the years, that one song that got them to where they're at today, they never forget where they've come from. They can always give you advice, what not to do, what to do, and just to help the next person on. I don't think, the jealousy doesn't really lie too much in there. I think everybody wants Texas artists to be successful because, it's hard in this business, and I always ask for advice, I can play with, I can open up for Mike Moon Pies and ask and sit down with Mike and, have a 10-minute conversation. He'll take the time. He doesn't act like he's better than anybody, and that's what's lovable about majority of the artists. Everybody's very humble. Everybody can take the time to sit and talk with you, share a beer with you, tell you how it is, or, what to do, or, check out these songwriters that are up and coming, or be wary of the venue that you're going to play in. They just help each other out. And again, it doesn't matter how big they are. I can talk to William Clark Green and share a, was it Red Bull vodka with him or something, and we can chit-chat for a little bit before, he goes on stage. Or even the up-and-coming guys, like myself, if anybody comes up to me, I don't know too much, but if they do, I just try to tell them, just be honest and be humble. Don't be a diva, and, be a human being. Be kind. So, just those things, man. It's been very, very, how can I say it? Very,
very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful, man. It's very helpful, and a lot of experience that I've grown in over these, I won't say 5 years that the band has been together, or since I've done this seriously for 5 years. So it's been great. It's been a great experience.
Well, that's awesome, man. And I mean, right now, the song that really caught me, and when I first heard it, it was like immediately drawn me in as, wow, this is just a great, sounds like a old vibe to it, but great lyrics and that just good music. I don't want to label. I have a bad habit of saying it sounds like a great old Texas country song, but it just sounds just from the beginning, and that's Hello Heartache. And I mean, it just starts off. So, give us a little background on that song, man. What was the writing behind it, or how it came about?
Yeah. So, I was hanging out here at the house, and I just started singing it out loud. I didn't really have any chords behind it, and I knew I was going up to Austin to go see one of my buddies, Jordan, that I was talking about earlier. He's a really good songwriter, and I said, "Hey, man, I got this idea." Starts off Hello Heartache, and sure as hell see your face again. And so we sat down, and I think we wrote 3 songs that day. I think we wrote 4 You, Hello Heartache, and one more. I can't remember the name. I'm just probably gonna get mad. I don't remember. But we just sat down and we wrote. It's like, hey man, it's like being in the bar in the honky tonk and seeing that one girl that you always fall for. You know you're gonna wake up with a heartbreak. You really can't get with her, but you'll do anything to just get one more night and have fun. And you really don't have much to lose. Like, what else are you gonna lose? You know, either you go for it, break your heart again. So it's kind of like painted that picture, and so we sat down and wrote that, and we wanted to start off with the song with the chorus, like right off the bat, just out the gate, chorus, verse, chorus, you know, and then go from there. So a lot of traditional songs sometimes do start with the chorus, and then there's some that, you know, you go in with just the verse, but we didn't know how it was going to play with radio, but it did really good, and it has been doing good, so I'm very proud of that song, and proud to have written it with my buddy Jordan. So I'm actually standing in the kitchen exactly where I started, you know, singing that song. So it's kind of weird that it kind of comes full circle and it's all completely done and on a record and playing all over, you know, streaming and all that good stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, it did great. It topped out at 24 on the Texas country radio charts in 2018. And, I mean, this is off of an album that you put out in 2017, Still Sane. So to have it, you know, even to then, and then right now on our BCMA Top 40, it's sitting at number 20 with 33,000 some change streams on Spotify. So,
that's pretty cool, man.
Would you say that that song is probably the one that had the most success off of the album, whether it be connecting with people or radio or streams or such?
Yeah, you know, I guess I wouldn't say the numbers don't lie, but they definitely make a statement as to how many streams and how many people are playing it. So you can't, I don't know if you can make that up, but it was the longest. It has been one of the longest singles that I've had out. Out of all the other singles, that was the one single that's been on the charts for a good amount of weeks, and that was steadily growing. It maybe have dropped like a few spots, but it grew right back up. It picked up where it left off, and when I found out it was, you know, number 24 on P3R, I was like, oh wow, this is probably one of the highest singles we've had. So I was really proud of that. And then to know that, you know, we were sitting number 20 with you guys and the amount of streams, that's even, man, that's great, because that has longevity and it still has some life in it, and you're giving what that is, giving it life. And I'm not too sure, you know, the audience that you reach, but I'm so happy that it's in a different area, different region, because then that opens the door if we want to get on the road and want to get out there. You know, we have that support from you guys and all that musical support. So it has a life of its own, man. I'm glad that it's still going, believe it or not.
Well, like I said, I was hooked on it from the first words, first line, and we have it here. We're gonna go ahead and play it, but and then afterwards we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it and a little bit more about you know, obviously some shows you got coming up. But I'll go ahead and let you introduce it there, man.
Well, you're listening to Hello Heartache. Hope you enjoy.
Well, hello, heartache. It sure as hell to see your face again. You walked right through them swinging doors along with all your friends. I sure wish I could hold you. I have nothing left to lose, but you spit me out just like you always do. Well, I try to get on with my life, get back on track, but I still got the sharp pain of your knife stuck in my back. Well, down and out, well, high and dry, empty and abused, but I'm stuck here trying to drown your lovesick blues. Well, hello, heartache. It sure as hell to see your face again. You walked right through them swinging doors along with all your friends. I sure wish I could hold you. I have nothing left to lose, but you spit me out just like you always do. I'll stumble my way to the bar, another Jack and Coke. But I see you heading my way through the neon lights and smoke. But all this liquid courage, I can't seem to tell you no. Will you smile at me again, and here I go. Well, hello, heartache, it sure is hell to see your face again. You walked right through them swinging doors alone with all your friends. I'm sure wish I could hold you. I have nothing left to lose, but you spit me out just like you always do. The hurt and pain will walk a shame right out your front door. I'm standing out here in the rain, my boots and nothing more. Well, goodbye, heartache. It sure was nice to see your face again. You walked right through them swinging doors alone with all your friends. I'm sure that I held you, I had nothing left to lose, but you spit me out just like you always do. Yeah, you spit me out just like you always do. Just go ahead and get my boots and get out of here, dog. How about that? Yeah.
I love that last little at the end of it. I'm just going to get my boots and get out of here, y'all. Classic.
Yeah, we were in the studio, and I was like, man, I need a little tag at the end. What can I say? And I told the producer, Dave, I was like, hey, man, I'm just running one more time towards the end. I'm just gonna say something, and I'll stop talking before it ends or something. And so I did that. And people were always trying to figure out what I said at the end. I kind of just leave it for them to really pay attention.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the whole thing, everybody. Listen to the whole thing. Get a secret message.
If you didn't catch the last one, you gotta play it all from start to finish.
Exactly. So, man, not only has it been doing good, you actually have a music video for the song that I have it up now on our website. We have featured videos. That's a pretty cool video, man. Where did y'all where did that take place at?
So it took place here in Edinburgh, Texas. There was a bar that we used to play at a long time ago when we first got started, called what was the name of that bar? It closed down now. The Cubby Hole. There you go. We played there when we first got started, and it seemed like a really cool bar to kind of shoot a music video. And we kind of wanted the music video to be kind of lighthearted, a little funny, have like some comedic kind of thing to it, and like the majority of bands will have themselves playing, but we kind of wanted to leave it open-ended. And then, we used our drummer that we had before, he had that Dodge. We used this Dodge truck, and it was a pretty good music video. So I'm happy the way it came out. Nice, funny, lighthearted, people that can watch again and again, and so it was good. It was a good time shooting that video.
Yeah, and if y'all haven't seen it, y'all can head on over to our website at BayouCountryMusic.com. Scroll down under featured videos, and you got Matt and Hers and Hello Heartache right there next to Colby Cooper's new song "Tired" music video. Check that out. So yeah, man. So back to the touring, man. I know y'all doing a lot. Obviously, from the video, y'all like to go play and honky tonk and have a good time, man. What's your favorite thing about playing live shows?
Just the energy, man. The energy that we can give off. How you can turn a crowd that is not paying attention to you to turn their heads and listen to your songs, or they might not think that they're your songs, but they like the way it sounds, and you get them on the dance floor. It's a challenge because some people don't know who we are yet, and when we start playing a song, it kind of takes them a while to get on the dance floor, but once you kind of win them over, it's nonstop. They're drinking, having a great time, they're forgetting about their problems, they're dancing, they're sweating. It's a good feeling to play live and see that firsthand. And then on top of that, when we used to do good amount of hour shows, we would have to pull all the audibles. And if we knew the crowd wasn't dancing to this song, we switch it up and make sure that it kind of goes to what they want. And that's the cool thing about being in a band. So you got to read the crowd. You got to understand what you're working with. And every venue and every show is going to be different. You just got to be ready for whatever comes your way. So I think that's what I like the most about shows. And now we're getting the shows that are 90 minutes. But even at that, if we throw in a cover tune, nobody's dancing, well, shoot, we'll put another one in there. Maybe it's George Strait, maybe it's Clint Black, maybe some Dwight Yoakam, just kind of get the crowd back in it. And then we'll hit them with one of ours. So that's what I like about live shows. Definitely.
And if you guys head on over to Matt's website, it's CastilloMusic.com. You can actually go on the little tour tab and see some of his upcoming events and you got going. Look, what are some of the tour dates you got coming up? This year. Maybe they ain't even listed yet. That you looking most forward to?
There's some that aren't listed yet, but we got a few good ones that we like to play at. We got Melody Ranch in Waco, John T. Floor's Country Store in March, and a couple of barbecue cook-offs, and then I got a first for me, which is the Coke SN Music Series, where I'll be showcasing, new music and some of the stuff, kind of get people introduced to new music or where I've come from. So that's going to be a cool little event there, March 12th. But in Melody Ranch in Waco is always wild. They're crazy. I love being in Waco. They're very big country people, and they can dance, and they'll tell you like it is. It's kind of cool to be up in Waco again shortly.
And I did catch a sneak peek. Oh, I don't know whether it was your Instagram or something a few days ago that you got some new merch in. For.
Oh yeah. So we got some new merchandise, and that I need to put up on my website. They're working on that right now to make sure that everything is up and working before we announce online that everything is for sale. They can go out and purchase new logo and a couple of shirts and some koozies, and of course we'll add to that as the months go by to kind of fill.
Now, do you guys sell them at shows?
We sure do. Yeah, that's a big thing too. Merchandise that we get to sell at shows kind of puts gas. What doesn't puts gas in our tank and keeps us down the road. But I wanted to do a revamp of the website and I wanted to do a revamp of the store. So I'm really excited to push out the new stuff and the new line. And there's going to be more stuff added in there. We got some stickers that people will get to order, along with some koozies and some T-shirts. We'll add a little bit more as the months go on and the year goes on too.
That's awesome, man. So, obviously, we've been talking about your music and stuff, and like I mentioned before, Hello, Heartache and all is off the album Still Sane, which you guys released in 2017. So, I'm sure you got some new stuff that in your pocket that you've been working on since then. What's the future for this year for Matt and the Herdsman?
Well, we're going to, I'm still writing as much songs as I can, as much as I can pump out, and we'll go back and once we get about 20 or 30 songs that we can choose from, we'll try to pick the best ones, and then we'll get into the studio, record a new album and try to tie it in with the radio single. And we just we really never know how this next album's going to hit. There's a little bit more pressure on myself and for the new album to come out, and we try not to stay too stagnant too long. Within the year, we try to put out an album every year, every 2 years. But when you're independent, it's a little bit harder because the finances and stuff. So you kind of just really have to plan out, think a year or two in advance, ahead time, and then try to execute it. So we're playing a few new songs at our live shows. We're road testing these songs, see if they're any good to people, or if you hear any feedback. But won't really know until we get to the studio. But I got about 15, 18 songs already. So the goal is to get about 30 and then really try to make a strong album. Try to write, that would tell me, Matt, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to write songs and be open up a little bit more. And I think as an artist, it's kind of hard because, you don't want to put your flaws out there. You don't want to go through the experiences. But that's what country is. That's what music is about. So it's a learning process for me, and so with every album, a little bit more opens up about myself and about my life, or somebody that had an influence in it, or a friend of mine. So I think you just kind of get comfortable, and that's the thing. You got to get comfortable with your fans. You got to be honest. They ask you what that song's about. You can go ahead and tell them. This is what it's about. It's about a girl. It's about a guy. About my friend. So the third album, I'm going to be opened up a little bit more, and hopefully that will resonate more with fans, and hopefully bring a bigger audience and like it.
Yeah, man, that's definitely that to me. That's what great country music's all about. Lyrics, and lyrics tell a story, and the stories always come from somebody's past, or they're not just fictional. That's what I'm kind of a nerd in that myself. I love lyrics and hearing the stories behind songs, and so yeah, it definitely resonates with fans that they can kind of get especially artists that such as yourselves that write so much and put out their that's your life, or maybe something you've experienced, and that's how you can connect with these people, and that's what's so beautiful about the music industry in general.
Yeah, sometimes I play with the idea, like, maybe people don't want to hear this. Maybe they don't care about this. Maybe they don't care about this type of problem, or they can't think like that. And I sometimes have to remind myself not to think like that. Just write it down. If it's good enough to make the record, it's good. If it's not, at least you wrote it and you jotted it down, and your mind's always working, or you're putting pen to paper every day, or at least try to, because it ain't easy. I'm not like those Nashville guys where I can sit down and write a song every single day. They're good at what they do, and they always say it's like a golf swing. The more you practice on your swing, the faster and more efficient you are. And to me, I'm like, man, I just go to the driving range every now and then. I don't know how to swing. So they teach you a lot up there. So I try to write something down every day, or like a short story or a verse or something to kind of keep the mind working. But it is hard, and I always think, man, people really want to hear this. Do they really want to hear about this story, or is it really that interesting? But
well, man,
you just gotta write.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, don't change what you're doing, man. Don't change, because you have the right attitude. I no disrespect to any Nashville artist. I have a lot of artists I'm fans of and look up to, but there is a lot going on in Nashville mainstream that artists and these, they're looking to sell to radio, and they losing the fact of what country and what music is about, telling stories, and a lot of So I feel, in my personal opinion, man, and this may just be me, whenever you can hear a song or hear a story in a song, maybe not everybody will relate to it, but you know what? It's the people that you touch that are hearing it and can say, man, I really went through that in this song. It really, I can relate. So I feel like as long as you're doing that, and you're you're using your God-given gift of music to tell stories and to get things out there, man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no, that's what I have to keep reminding myself is, it's just a start. You never know where the song's going to take you. There have been songs that I haven't really put out there yet, and probably will. Like, okay, so I have one song that I recorded acoustically that we made a video of. The song's called "Don't Look at Her Smile." It may not make the album. It might make the next one, but the fact is, I put it out there, and I'm gonna put it out there for people to see, and going to be announcing that soon. So that's one song that I wrote that it always resonates with people on at shows, but hopefully this will kind of open the door to play with that a little bit more. So I'm excited for that.
Definitely, man. Well, you guys can check out all of upcoming info and everything, of course, from Matt I don't want to murder your last name. Is it Castillo?
It's Castillo.
Castillo. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Matt Castillo.
Right on the money.
MattCastillomusic.com. You can check out all the social media links and, of course, all that. And go get some of his music. And Spotify, of course. Like I mentioned, he's on our Spotify top 40 chart. with 33,300 and something streams right now, and so definitely go check that out and stream it. Let it get up a few spots, man. So and of course you can go to BayouCountryMusic.com and check out our top 40, our podcast, all of our great friends and sponsors, including Southern Sound Outfitters, and those guys do great things for up and coming artists and support so many great up and coming people in the Texas scene. And for an apparel brand, it's crazy. The guy Aaron, the guy that owns it, is such a great guy. So go support them and check out their website at Southern Sound Outfitters and get some merchandise from those guys. And of course, all the rest of our sponsors and friends you can find on our website here. Matt, man, we really appreciate you taking time to be on, and we look forward to the upcoming new music, man, and hopefully soon we can connect and get you out here to Louisiana, man.
Oh, man, I'd love to be out there. I can't wait until we get the call to get out there and play around the area, man. It's pretty good. And thanks for all the support, man. That's how we grow fans, you loving the music and just pushing it out there, because, it's you love it, you love the music, you love what it's about. So, anybody out there listening, thank you for taking the time to listen, and, I greatly appreciate a follow, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, and good stuff, So you get down to Texas and you see a tour date, see a show you want to come to, come on down, let me know, and definitely take care of you too, man. So, thank you for all your support, man, everything you've done for country music and for myself and the boys, so greatly appreciate it.
Well, man, I really appreciate that sentiment, and I'm going to close it out saying something I live by, and that's support local, not even local, support independent artists, because that is what puts gas in the tank. It costs a lot of money going to these shows and getting equipment, and when you don't have any, labels or people backing you, these guys are doing it out of the passion and the love they have for it. So if you go to shows, tip them, buy some merchandise, that's really a really important thing. So definitely do that. And next time, who knows who we'll have, but it'll be somebody just as good as Matt, or somebody more interesting. I don't know, because I kind of murdered his name here and had to have a quick lesson on pronunciation there. So I apologize for that, Matt. But
good, man.
Other than that, I'd say it was a pretty great talk, man. I really appreciate it again. And don't be a stranger, man. Anytime we can help out at Bayou Country Music Association, you just let us know, man.
You got it, brother. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And until next time, guys, y'all have a blessed day.